Inspiration and replication are often mentioned in creative discussions, but they are not the same thing. Inspiration happens when an idea, aesthetic, or concept influences a creator, but is reinterpreted and transformed. The person adds their own perspective, mixes different references, and builds something with a distinct identity. The final result may remind people of the original source, but it stands on its own because it brings something new to the table. The core difference lies in transformation. Inspiration reshapes and expands on an idea. Replication simply repeats it. But was NewJeans inspired by older trends and groups, or did they just replicate them without any transformation? To go deeper into this topic, we need to talk about Min Hee-jin, the mind behind NewJeans. Before working with NewJeans, Min Hee-jin worked at SM Entertainment, where she started in 2002 as a visual designer and eventually became one of the company's main creative directors. Over the years, she helped shape the visual identity of some truly iconic K-pop groups. She was involved in projects for artists like Girls' Generation, SHINee, EXO, FX, and later Red Velvet, particularly during important stages of their development. Many of those eras are still remembered today because they had a very clear creative direction and a strong, recognizable visual identity that stood out in the industry. Min Hee-jin doesn't just design visuals, she plans every detail to match the concept of the music. Colors, outfits, sets, and even album design are chosen to support the idea behind each song. She blends retro influences with modern styles, while keeping the members' personalities in focus. Her work is consistent and intentional, which is why her concepts feel original and distinctive, rather than just following trends. Her work is known for strong aesthetics, detailed album packaging, and clear artistic direction. At SM Entertainment, she shaped the visual identity of entire groups, creating concepts that were instantly recognizable and cohesive. Her SM era is still referenced as a benchmark for creative direction in K-pop, which is why Min Hee-jin's name carries so much weight and influence in the industry and among fans today. When NewJeans debuted in 2022, they immediately caught people's attention. Instead of following the typical teaser-heavy K-pop debut formula, the group surprise dropped their first music video, creating a more organic and less manufactured introduction. The concept focused on a natural, youthful image, minimal styling, and a sound heavily inspired by early 2000s R&B and pop. The branding was very well planned. The idea was to feel fresh but nostalgic at the same time. Min Hee-jin described the group as something timeless, like a pair of jeans you keep going back to. The debut was widely praised for its clear creative direction and strong identity right from the start. Whether people loved it or criticized it, NewJeans immediately stood out in the industry, and much of that was credited to the tight concept planning and visual storytelling behind the group. With the controversy over similarities with ILIT gaining attention, the discussion quickly expanded beyond just one group. As people debated the overlaps, some began questioning whether NewJeans themselves were truly original, arguing that their concept also drew heavily from past trends, earlier K-pop aesthetics, and even Western Y2K influences. So we're going to break down whether this is a case of replication or inspiration, and explore where the accusations that NewJeans copied other groups actually come from. This is what I found. I did some research on the internet to see what people are saying about NewJeans in relation to the Mexican group Jeans. First, the name. Some people believe the name was copied, but it's important to analyze that claim carefully. Jeans is literally a dictionary word, a common everyday term used worldwide to describe a type of clothing. It isn't exclusive to any one group. NewJeans is a different name with its own meaning, branding, and concept. The addition of new already creates a distinct identity. Because of that, arguing that it's a direct copy simply because both names contain a generic word feels like an oversimplification. rather than a strong or logical comparison. NewJeans' debut concept was inspired by multiple trends from the 90s and the early 2000s. Their styling, graphics, and overall aesthetic draw from that era's pop culture, fashion, and Y2K influences, reinterpreted in a modern way. In Attention, some claimed Hani's bandana top copied jeans, but it was a popular early 2000s Y2K trend, seen on Beyoncé. NewJeans draws on 2000s nostalgia, so the styling reflects the era, not a specific group. Double hair buns were popular in the late 90s and early 2000s, especially in rave culture and Y2K pop fashion. They were common in girl groups and teen trends, so it wasn't exclusive to one group, but a widespread style of that era. The halftone effect itself comes from old print media and comics, but in fashion and pop visuals, it became trendy again during the Y2K era, around 1998 to 2004. These weren't exclusive to jeans. Many of the visual elements people point out, like halftone effects, were widely used in the late 90s and early 2000s. This photo compares the choreographies, and at first glance they may look very similar. However, when we actually take the time to watch and analyze the original choreography of the group, it becomes clear that they are quite different. The image creates the impression of copying by freezing specific moments that look alike, but in reality, the full dances don't share similarities. Here, it was claimed that NewJeans copied jeans because of the idea of each member wearing a different color. However, this concept was not created by the group Jeans. The idea of assigning a specific color to each member has been used many times in the music industry and even in films. It's a common visual strategy to help distinguish individuals within a group. In NewJeans' case, there's important context. The song NewJeans was a collaboration with the Powerpuff Girls, where each character is represented by a specific color. The members created their own Powerpuff versions and were assigned matching colors. During performances, they wore the colors that represented their characters. It's also important to note that this wasn't the first time Min Hee-jin used individual member colors as part of a concept. She previously applied a similar approach while working with Red Velvet, where each member was associated with a distinct color to strengthen visual identity and branding. Since their debut, NewJeans have consistently been associated with the Y2K aesthetic. In South Korea, anything related to Y2K trends was often linked to them, as they became one of the main references for that style in the industry. It's also strange to claim that NewJeans copied the group Jeans just because they wear denim. As mentioned before, jeans are a globally popular clothing item that has been worn for decades in many different contexts. Denim was especially trendy in the 90s and 2000s, and it continues to be fashionable today. At the beginning of the video, I explained the difference between inspiration and replication, and this is exactly where that distinction matters. In the case I showed, we don't have NewJeans copying the group Jeans. In reality, Jeans was simply following the fashion trends of their own time. When NewJeans debuted in 2022, their concept was inspired by late 1990s and early 2000s aesthetics. So rather than copying Jeans, NewJeans was also drawing from the trends of that era. When NewJeans debuted, there wasn't an immediate wave of people linking them to the Mexican group Jeans. That comparison only began circulating later, largely driven by those attempting to counter the narrative surrounding ILIT and searching for a retroactive gotcha argument. In contrast, when ILIT debuted, many people instantly drew parallels to NewJeans in real time, without needing to dig through decades-old references or resurface lesser-known examples. The comparison happened naturally and immediately, which is an important distinction in how both situations were perceived. Rather than copying one source, NewJeans reinterpreted late 90s and Y2K aesthetics in a modern way. The result is nostalgic yet fresh, inspiration that transforms the past into something new. To make this distinction even clearer, let me give a simple example using two handbag brands. Imagine Brand 1 launches Bag 1. To create it, the brand mixes different old trends and fashion elements, updating them for the present and turning them into something new. The result isn't a copy of a specific piece, but a reinterpretation built from multiple past influences and homage that transforms earlier styles into a distinct identity. Now imagine Brand 2 launches Bag 2, and this time its main inspiration is Bag 1 itself. The issue is that Bag 1 is still on the market, still shaping its identity and securing its space. Even so, Bag 2 arrives with a very similar concept, aesthetic, and positioning, targeting the same audience at the same time. In the first case, past influences are transformed into something new. In the second, a current product becomes the direct reference. This can weaken Brand 1's growing identity and make Brand 2 appear unoriginal. Instead of inspiration, it creates overlap in the same market, harming both.